In an era dominated by social media and surveillance, some of the most horrifying moments in human history have been captured on camera, offering a chilling glimpse into the unpredictability of existence. From tragic accidents to shocking acts of violence, these real-time recordings immortalize fates that are often too gruesome to forget. While some footage serves as a cautionary tale, others remain a haunting testament to the unpredictability of fate. On January 19, 2022, in the small village of Vera, located just south of St. Petersburg, Russia, a long-standing tradition turned into a tragic ordeal that would forever change the lives of a family. Anna Usova, a 40-year-old lawyer, and her husband Yuri were excited to take part in the Epiphany celebrations, a holiday known for its unique and often extreme ritual of plunging into freezing waters. This year, the couple chose to participate at the Eeds River, a decision that would lead to an unimaginable tragedy. Every year, villagers and visitors alike take part in the Epiphany tradition, cutting holes into the thick ice that covers rivers and lakes, creating a temporary pool of water below. While the ritual may appear daunting, it is typically carried out with safety precautions. Stairs are often placed around the ice hole to help people enter and exit the water, and in some cases, participants even wear ropes to ensure they can be pulled out quickly if necessary. For most, it is a symbolic act of faith, an opportunity to cleanse both the body and the spirit. However, this year's plunge would not go as planned. The temperature on the night of January 19th was a bone-chilling -5 degrees Celsius, or 23 degrees Fahrenheit. Despite the freezing cold, Anna, dressed in a black one-piece swimsuit, took her place at the hole in the ice. She was no stranger to the ritual, but even with the tradition's long history, the dangers of the icy waters were never fully realized until that moment. Before diving in, Anna made the sign of the cross, a gesture of faith, and then took a deep breath. With a final glance at her surroundings, she pinched her nose and leapt feet first into the dark, freezing river below. But in a flash, everything changed. Witnesses at the scene immediately realized something was terribly wrong. Anna did not resurface. The safety attendant urgently called for help, and within seconds, Yuri, her husband, rushed into the water, desperately searching for her. The confusion and panic of the moment were palpable, but even with his efforts, Anna could not be found. Amid the chaos, the sound of children crying out for their mother echoed in the background, a heart-wrenching reminder of the family left behind in the wake of this terrifying ordeal. As rescuers scrambled to locate Anna, the current of the Eeds River began to reveal its true power. Moving at a rapid 10 feet per second, the water quickly carried Anna away from the hole in the ice, far beyond the reach of any rescue efforts. Despite the desperate attempts by her husband and others to find her, the swift current ensured that there would be no quick resolution to the tragedy. The search continued for days. But even with the arrival of rescue divers, Anna's body remained elusive. The river had swept her far from the site of her plunge. It wasn't until January 28th, a full 9 days later, that her body was finally found. A search team located her about a kilometre downstream, 150 metres from the bridge, far from the spot where she had entered the water. The current had carried her away so swiftly and powerfully that there was simply no chance of recovery until the days had passed. The discovery of Anna's body marked the end of a search that had brought grief and disbelief to her family, friends, and the community. A ritual that had been intended to honour faith and tradition had instead become a nightmare, and the family was left to mourn the sudden, senseless loss of Anna, a wife and mother taken far too soon. The pain of the loss was made all the more unbearable by the knowledge that their celebration of life had turned into a tragedy that no one could have foreseen. The events of that night are a harsh reminder of how quickly joy can turn to sorrow, and how nature, no matter how familiar or seemingly safe, can become unforgiving in an instant. Anna's tragic fate underscores the fragility of life and the unpredictable power of the elements. My deepest condolences go out to Anna's family, whose world has been shattered by this incomprehensible loss. No one should ever have to endure such a heart-wrenching tragedy, especially during a time meant to bring peace and spiritual renewal. Anna's story is a somber one, but it is also a stark reminder of how fragile life can be and how quickly everything can change. Anna Usova's heartbreaking loss highlights the unpredictable nature of life and the risks people sometimes take in pursuit of tradition. Similarly, Jane Wicker's remarkable career as a wing walker came to a devastating end during a performance. Stay tuned as we delve into the thrilling yet perilous world of aerial stunts, culminating in the tragic events of Jane's final flight. In the world of extreme aviation, few performances are as awe-inspiring and dangerous as wing walking. The act of standing or even performing stunts on the wings of a moving aircraft at high speeds and altitudes is an expression of both skill and courage. It's a breathtaking sight, one that draws large crowds to air shows around the world. For Jane Wicker, wing walking was more than just a performance. It was her life's work, a calling that pushed her to take on some of the most daring feats in aviation. Her passion for the skies was unmatched, and her performances left spectators in wonder. But tragically, one routine that was meant to be like so many others ended in heartbreak. Jane Wicker was a seasoned wing walker, known for her precision, skill, and fearlessness. Throughout her career, she had captivated audiences with her stunning aerial routines, walking across the wings of planes, sometimes hanging from their struts or even performing acrobatic moves in mid-air. Her performances were the result of years of training, meticulous preparation, and an unshakable trust in the pilots she worked with. Jane loved the thrill of performing in front of crowds, and her connection with the audience was undeniable. She wasn't just a wing walker, she was an artist, using the sky as her canvas. On June 22, 2018, Jane was set to perform at the Vectron Dayton Air Show in Ohio, a well-known event that attracts aviation enthusiasts from all over the country. The air show was filled with a variety of acts, from aerobatic pilots doing tight loops and barrel rolls to wing walkers performing their daring stunts. Jane had taken part in this air show before, and she was a familiar face to both the performers and the spectators. The day of the show, she prepared for another breathtaking routine, walking on the wings of a biplane while it soared through the sky. It was meant to be just another thrilling performance in a long list of successful shows. As the biplane took off into the sky, the audience watched in anticipation. Jane was in her element, performing her usual routine with confidence, walking across the plane's wing, high above the ground. The crowd below marveled at her skill as she remained perfectly balanced on the moving aircraft, a testament to the years of experience she had in this dangerous craft. The plane executed a series of impressive maneuvers, climbing into the sky, twisting and turning in tight loops. Jane moved effortlessly with the plane, her body synchronized with the aircraft's movements, a beautiful display of control and precision. But as the biplane began its final maneuver, something went terribly wrong. What was supposed to be a simple ascent turned into a deadly situation. The plane began to spiral out of control. The audience, still unaware of the danger, continued to watch, oblivious to the unfolding catastrophe above. The pilot, an experienced aviator, attempted to regain control of the aircraft, but the plane continued to twist violently in mid-air, spiraling rapidly toward the ground. Jane, who was standing on the wing, was suddenly thrown from her position as the plane's descent grew more erratic. In that moment, the audience realized something had gone horribly wrong. As the plane fell, spiraling uncontrollably, Jane was lost to the chaos. The descent was too fast, and the forces at play were too great. She had no chance to regain her balance or secure herself. In an instant, she was ejected from the plane, falling toward the earth. The crash that followed was swift and brutal, leaving no time for recovery. Emergency responders rushed to the scene, but it was clear that Jane's injuries were fatal. The shock and grief that swept through the crowd and the aviation community were overwhelming. Jane Wicker, a woman known for her passion, her bravery, and her incredible skill, was gone. The loss of such a talented performer left a void in the world of aerial stunts and aviation performances. In the days that followed, tributes poured in from all corners of the aviation world. Jane was remembered not only for her breathtaking aerial performances, but also for her warm personality, her mentoring spirit, and her love for the craft. She had inspired countless people with her fearlessness, her ability to push boundaries, and her dedication to safety. Jane wasn't just a performer, she was a trailblazer who had helped elevate wing walking to a new level of skill and artistry. Both Anna Usova and Jane Wicker's stories highlight the unpredictable nature of life and the risks involved in pursuing one's passions. Whether immersed in icy waters or soaring through the sky, their devotion to tradition and adventure led to devastating outcomes. These events underscore how quickly life can shift, reminding us to value each moment while acknowledging the dangers that come with pushing boundaries. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more from Horrendous Horror.